The most devastating truth is not that they lied about you, it's that they believed the lie so easily, without question, without hesitation, as if your name meant nothing to them. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one. A fire spreads in a dry forest. It doesn't take proof, it doesn't take evidence. All it takes is one spark, one careless whisper, and the flames leap out of control. That's exactly how the lies about you spread. People didn't test the story, they didn't check the facts, they just poured gasoline on the rumor and watched you burn in their minds. But here's the thing about fire. It leaves behind ashes that reveal what truly survived, and now the truth stands untouched in the open while their faces are covered in soot. And facts don't lie. Chosen one. Psychologists say humans are wired with something called confirmation bias. They cling to whatever fits the narrative they want to believe, even if it's false. That's why it took nothing for them to accept the worst about you. But time always exposes the bias, always shatters the illusion. The final puzzle piece has clicked into place, and the full picture shows you were never the villain. The villains were the ones who ran with lies, and now they are crushed beneath the weight of their own foolishness. And thank you, Chosen One, for holding your ground. Don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing the like and subscribe to help spread this message to more souls, as it's the responsibility of all of us to spread the light. And thank you, Chosen One, for being part of this mission. You are the part of a force, a movement that can't be silenced. Now let's return to the truth. Those who believed the lies about you are facing themselves in the mirror, and what they see isn't pretty. Back then, those lies seemed airtight, almost reasonable, as if they were obvious. People didn't need proof. They didn't even hesitate. They leapt on it because deep down, jealousy, insecurity, or resentment had been waiting for a reason to pounce. The lie gave them that excuse. It wasn't about whether it was true or false. It was about finally having a reason to justify their envy of you. But now that same excuse has turned into their shame. The missing puzzle piece has been revealed, the illusion is broken, and suddenly all the energy they used against you looks absurd, almost clownish. Think of it like this. Imagine a jigsaw puzzle that's been half built, the picture unclear, and yet someone stands there swearing they already know what it is. They mock you, point fingers, claim certainty. But when that last piece drops into place, it doesn't just finish the puzzle. It proves every smug word they spoke was wrong. That's where they are now. They look ridiculous, exposed by the very truth they tried to bury. And the irony is, Chosen One, that their downfall isn't just about being wrong. It's about realizing they could have had everything with you. Some of them could have collaborated with you, built empires with you, even loved you. You were the dream they didn't recognize, the gold they threw away for cheap tin. Instead of standing beside you, they stood against you, all because of gossip. And now the regret is crushing them. They can't unsee the fact that you were the opportunity of a lifetime, an opportunity they let slip because they trusted liars. Imagine the torment of realizing you lost your best chance, not because of your own mistake, but because you chose to believe someone else's. That's the weight sitting on their chest tonight. The truth about lies is this: they don't last forever. History proves it. From the Salem witch trials to false propaganda in every era, deception always collapses under the weight of evidence. And just like that, your story has reached its final act. The evidence is here, the missing puzzle piece is placed, and there's no going back. They can deny it, they can close their eyes, they can cover their ears, but the truth is roaring louder than ever. The world sees you differently now. The same people who once treated you like a shadow are now realizing you were the light they needed all along. And, chosen one, here's the irony that stings them most. The more they lied about you, the stronger your name has become. Their gossip was meant to bury you, but it became free advertising for your resilience. The more they tried to smear you, the more people became curious about who you really were. And now, with truth exposed, that curiosity has turned into respect, admiration, even love. Your silence through the storm wasn't weakness. It was proof of your strength. And that strength is what makes people fall for you now, not out of pity, but out of awe. So understand this. The lies that once hurt you are now their chains. They're shackled by the memory of their own betrayal, replaying the moment they chose to believe instead of question. And that's why they are crushed, shattered, devastated. They know they lost something priceless, you. Chosen one, this is your season of vindication. You don't even have to fight for it. The universe has already fought for you. The liars are unmasked. The puzzle is complete, and the truth is undeniable. Walk boldly, because the world now sees what you always knew. You were never the fraud, never the villain. You were the dream they foolishly threw away. And the most painful punishment for them isn't your anger. It's the fact that they'll spend the rest of their lives knowing they believed the lies and lost the truth. And chosen one, don't move just yet, because what you've heard so far is only the spark. The real fire is about to unfold, and believe me, it will burn through every falsehood they ever built against you. This was only the surface. Now we're going to dig deep into the soil where those lies were planted, expose the roots, and show you exactly why they're being crushed by their own blind belief. So if you're ready to step fully into this truth, drop a 777 in the comments right now to mark your confirmation that you see beyond illusion. And if you feel called, bless the team behind this message with a super thanks, because your energy fuels this mission of exposing lies and spreading truth across the world. Thank you, chosen one, for being more than a listener. You're part of a force that flips the script on deception. And now, let's move into this step by step. Stay with me, because if you are truly chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay locked in until the very last word. What comes next will hit harder, cut deeper, and prove why their belief in those lies has become the weight that's breaking them. Let's begin. Number 1. The mockery that backfired. The joke isn't funny when the punchline is your own face in the mirror. That's the truth that your enemies are choking on right now, chosen one. They thought they were comedians, spinning stories, mocking your name, dragging your character through the mud. They laughed. Oh, how they laughed. But here's the part they never saw coming. The laughter was never really on you. It was always on them. Because every lie, every insult, every rumor they spread was a boomerang. And now that boomerang has spun all the way back, smacking them square in the face with the reality that you are still standing, still rising, and stronger than ever. The mockery they weaponized has backfired in front of everyone, and it's not you who looks foolish, it's them. Now imagine this for a moment, chosen one. A group of people in a theater pointing at the stage, laughing uncontrollably at the character in the spotlight. They're convinced the play is about mocking that character. But then the curtain rises higher and the full script is revealed. They weren't watching your downfall. They were watching their own reflection acted out for the crowd. The punchline lands, but it doesn't land on you. It lands on them. And suddenly, the room goes quiet. Because laughter built on lies never lasts. It eventually collapses into silence, and silence is louder than any joke they could have made about you. Here's a fact that can't be denied. History is full of chosen ones who were mocked, ridiculed, and doubted until the very truth turned everything around. Think about Nikola Tesla, brushed off as crazy, ridiculed for his visions of free energy, mocked by the very men who stole from him. Think about Oprah Winfrey, laughed at for her background, told she didn't have the right look, the right voice, the right skin to be on TV. Today, she's a billionaire whose influence stretches across the globe. Or Albert Einstein, called slow, dismissed as a boy who could barely speak properly until he revolutionized science. Do you see the pattern? The chosen ones always carry the weight of ridicule because they stand outside the mold. But that same ridicule becomes the proof of their power once the truth unfolds. The enemies who mocked you thought they were exposing your flaws. What they were really doing was exposing their own insecurities. Let's be honest, chosen one, why do people laugh at you? Why do they point, whisper, and spread false stories? Because deep down, they know you carry a weight they could never hold. They know you are built differently. And when someone is built differently, the small-minded have no tools except mockery. It's their crutch, their shield, their distraction from the fact that they could never stand in your shoes. They laugh because they are weak, and weakness always hides behind jokes. Now let me ask you a question. Didn't their laughter ever sting at first? Didn't it make you question, even for a moment, if they might be right? That's the real cruelty of mockery. It plants seeds of doubt. But here's the secret the enemy never wanted you to discover. Those seeds don't take root in chosen soil. Instead, they turn into fuel. Every whisper became firewood for your determination. Every insult became a stepping stone. Every laugh became a reminder that they couldn't break you, no matter how hard they tried. That's why today their laughter is gone, replaced by the silence of regret. And, oh, chosen one, regret is heavier than ridicule. They can't laugh now, they can't point, they can't mock, because the proof is in front of them. You are still here, still shining, still walking with your head high. And the very things they ridiculed you for are the very things people now admire. Isn't it ironic? They called you different, weird, too much, not enough. And now that difference is what sets you apart. That weirdness is what makes you untouchable. That too much is exactly what the world needed from you. They thought they were insulting you, but in reality, they were giving you free advertisements for your strength. Think of it like this. Imagine a diamond in the dirt. At first, people kick it, laugh at it, dismiss it as just another rock. They mock anyone who says, "This is valuable." But then, when the dirt is brushed off and the light hits it at the right angle, the truth is undeniable. The same people who once mocked it are now staring, speechless, realizing the brilliance was always there. They just didn't see it. That's you, chosen one. They mocked you in the dirt stage. Now they're watching you shine, and their laughter has turned into shame. Here's another fact you should hold close. Mockery is always temporary, but truth is eternal. A lie can run fast, it can spread quick, it can catch fire in an instant. But the truth? The truth walks slowly, steadily, patiently. And when it arrives, it never leaves. That's why their laughter died down. Because a lie has an expiration date. And the lies they believed about you have expired. Now they're left with nothing but the rotten smell of their own mockery, and you're the fresh air cutting through it. So yes, the mockery backfired. And don't you see the beauty in that, chosen one? You didn't even have to lift a finger. You didn't have to clap back. You didn't have to explain. You didn't have to prove yourself. The universe itself handled the exposure. It's like trying to keep the sun hidden behind clouds. It might work for a while, but eventually the light bursts through and no one can deny it. You are that light. Their laughter was the cloud. and clouds never last. Now let me give you this truth. When people laugh at the chosen one, they are laughing at what they cannot control. They mocked you because they couldn't mold you. They mocked you because you didn't bow down. They mocked you because your silence was louder than their noise. And now, that same noise has turned into whispers of shame. They mocked your name, and now your name carries weight they can't escape. That's not just backfire, that's poetic justice. So stand tall in this chosen one. Don't ever regret the days you were laughed at. Don't ever wish it didn't happen, because the mockery was part of your making. Without it, you wouldn't have grown this strong, this unshakable, this untouchable. Their mockery was the forge, and you are the steel that came out of the fire. And the truth? Steel doesn't break. It bends, it sharpens, it endures. Today they are crushed, not just because they believed lies, but because they realized they mocked the very person who was destined to outlast them all. And that's the kind of pain that leaves no cure. The joke is over. Chosen won. And the punchline? The punchline is their own reflection staring back at them, ashamed, broken, and silenced. Number 2. The puzzle piece that changed everything. The lie was never strong, it just looked complete until the missing piece slid into place. That's the reality your enemies can't escape right now, chosen one. For the longest time, their stories about you seemed airtight. The rumors felt polished, convincing, almost believable. People nodded along, thinking they had the full picture of who you were. But deep down, something never added up. The puzzle looked almost finished, but there was always that one empty space, that one missing truth. And now, boom, that final piece has dropped into place, and the entire lie has shattered. Now imagine this, chosen one. A 1,000-piece puzzle is spread across the table. Everyone's been standing around it for months, maybe even years, thinking they see the full image. They point, they whisper, they speculate. And because the picture looks almost whole, they assume the missing piece doesn't matter. But when that one crucial piece is finally placed, the whole scene changes. Suddenly, you see what the picture really is, and you realize how wrong everyone was all along. That's exactly what happened with you. They thought they had you figured out, but the missing piece, the truth, has turned their confident lies into exposed foolishness. Here's the beauty of truth. It only takes one fact to collapse an entire illusion, one piece of proof, one moment of clarity, one undeniable sign that wipes out years of deception. History has shown us this over and over again. Think about the Watergate scandal. Powerful men spinning lies to protect themselves, and it only took one missing piece, a set of tapes, to unravel the whole empire. Or think about the countless wrongful convictions overturned when one final piece of DNA evidence proved the accused was innocent all along. Lies can stack high, but they collapse instantly when the final piece is revealed. And chosen one, that piece has just fallen in your favor. Your enemies are crushed because they built their entire performance on illusions. They wore masks, they acted roles, they whispered rumors in the dark, and people believed it because the story seemed to fit. But what happens when the mask slips? What happens when the curtain falls and everyone sees the trembling actor behind it? That's what's happening right now. Their masks aren't slipping gently. They're being ripped off. And it's not you who looks strange anymore. It's them. Their jealousy is showing. Their envy is glaring. Their desperation is undeniable. The missing puzzle piece didn't just clear your name, it exposed theirs. Let me ask you this, chosen one. Have you ever noticed how one detail can change everything? You hear a rumor and it almost sounds right, but then you learn a single fact and suddenly the whole story collapses. That's what people around you are realizing. They're standing there in disbelief, asking themselves, how did I ever believe this about the chosen one? And the answer is simple. Lies always look believable until the truth arrives. Once the truth is on the table, lies look ridiculous, childish, desperate. And that's what they're dealing with now. You were always the dream they threw away, the person of value they dismissed because of falsehoods. And now they're realizing what they lost. That's the real sting for them. It's not just that they were wrong, it's that their wrong decision cost them the very connection, the very opportunity, the very alliance of their dreams. They didn't just believe lies about you. They built choices, actions, and behaviors around those lies. They turned away from you. They mocked you. They sided with your enemies. And now, they're forced to sit with the shame of knowing they were played, and that the puzzle piece they ignored was the most important one of all, you. Think about how fragile illusions really are. A magician waves his hand, distracts you with shiny tricks, makes you believe the impossible. But the moment you see the hidden card up his sleeve, the illusion is destroyed forever. You can never go back to believing it again. That's exactly what has happened with you. The lies worked as long as people were distracted, as long as they didn't have the final piece. But now that the piece is here, there's no going back. No one can unsee the truth. And your enemies? They're scrambling, panicking, desperate to cover the cracks. But it's too late. Once a puzzle is complete, you can't pretend it's missing pieces again. Here's another fact. Masks always fall at the exact moment they're meant to. You don't have to force them off. Time does the work. Truth does the work. And when it happens with devastating impact. The jealous ones who pretended to be allies are now exposed as envious frauds. The ones who whispered lies behind closed doors are being seen as bitter and strange. The ones who orchestrated smear campaigns are being revealed as desperate manipulators. This isn't just a small slip-up, it's the full picture being revealed, and it paints them as the villains they are. And here's the irony. Chosen one, the very piece that exposed them, was never hidden from you. You always knew the truth. You always carried it, lived it, walked it. You didn't have to scramble to prove yourself. You didn't need to force the world to see. You simply kept standing, kept moving, kept being who you are. And eventually, the truth revealed itself. The universe laid the final piece in front of everyone, and now the whole room can see. That's the power of being chosen. You don't chase validation. Validation chases you when the truth finally comes out. So let this be a reminder. Chosen one, illusions can last a while, but they never last forever. Lies can run fast, but they can't run forever. They can trick, distract, and deceive, but they always collapse when the truth steps in. And the truth doesn't whisper, it roars. That's why your enemies are crushed. They didn't just lose control of the narrative, they lost their masks, their credibility, their power. And you gained clarity, restoration, and the undeniable glow of someone who was right all along. The puzzle piece that changed everything wasn't just about exposing lies. It was about showing the world who you really are. And the world can't unsee it now. The full picture is here. No more illusions, no more masks. Just truth, and truth is always enough. Number 3. Shattered dreams they could have had with you. Nothing haunts a person more than the chances they threw away, and chosen one, you are their greatest missed opportunity. That is the bitter truth your enemies and doubters are choking on right now. They once stood at the edge of greatness, staring directly at you, the one who could have changed their life, elevated their name, and built something eternal. But instead of choosing you, they chose lies. Instead of holding on to gold, they picked up dust, and now that dust is slipping right through their fingers. The universe has turned the tables, and what they lost in you will forever be the wound they cannot heal. Think about this for a moment, chosen one. Imagine someone being offered the chance to invest in Apple or Amazon when it was still in a garage. Imagine being handed the opportunity to stand next to Nikola Tesla or Steve Jobs before the world even recognized their genius. Imagine saying no to those partnerships because of rumors, gossip, or jealousy planted in your ear. Now fast forward, those same visionaries rise to change the entire world, while you're left sitting in the shadows wondering why you doubted what was real. That is exactly what they're living through now when they think of you. They are haunted by what could have been, and the torment is endless. Some of them can't sleep at night, chosen one, because their mind keeps replaying the moments they could have chosen you. They think, what if I trusted them? What if I believed in them instead of those lies? They know deep down that if they had aligned with you, life would look completely different for them right now. Their career would be stronger, their reputation would be cleaner, their love life might have been unshakable. But lies made them cowardly, and envy made them blind. Now, the universe has slammed the truth in their face. They weren't just rejecting a person, they were rejecting destiny. And here's the most powerful part. Chosen one, the universe saw their betrayal long before you even knew it existed. That's why it blocked them from sitting at your table. You see, not everyone is meant to eat from the feast the universe prepares for you. Some people were only ever meant to watch you rise from a distance, and that's exactly their punishment now. They will see you winning, thriving, glowing, while they live with the regret that they could have been standing beside you instead of against you. Now you might ask yourself, but why does it hurt them so much now? Didn't they already move on? And the answer is simple. Moving on is easy when lies still cloud the air. But when the truth explodes, when the mask falls off, and when every missing puzzle piece proves you were right all along, reality cuts deeper than any sword. They are no longer just haunted by whispers of the past. They are chained to the proof that they were wrong about you. And the worst part? They can't undo it. They can't rewind. They can't turn back time. The door has already closed. History is full of examples, chosen one. How many artists died broke and laughed at, only for their paintings to later be sold for millions? How many leaders, inventors, and thinkers were mocked, ignored, or betrayed, only for their work to reshape the future? The world eventually wakes up to the truth, but by then, it's too late for the ones who doubted. That's your story too. They will forever say, if only I had believed, if only I had trusted, if only I hadn't thrown away my chance. That's the torment they deserve, and that's the lesson the universe designed just for them. So do not waste 1 second pitying them. Do not waste your energy reopening doors that the universe already slammed shut. Remember this, their regret is your confirmation. Their shattered dreams are proof that you were always the prize. And while they remain stuck in the nightmare of what they lost, you walk freely into the reality of everything the universe has promised you. Number 4. The disbelief that cuts deep. The deepest cut isn't the lie itself. It's realizing the knife was handed to you by someone you trusted. Chosen one, that is the agony your enemies are living in right now. They are not only humiliated because they believed the lies about you, they are shattered because of who fed them those lies. people they admired, people they thought were credible, people in high positions who wore masks of authority and influence. The very same voices that claimed to know the truth turned out to be nothing more than puppeteers pulling strings for their own envy. And now, those who swallowed those stories are left sick with the realization that they weren't just fooled, they were willing participants in their own downfall. Now imagine this, chosen one. Imagine being a soldier on the battlefield, listening to the orders of your commander, believing they had the best strategy to lead you to victory. But when the dust clears, you realize that commander was leading you into an ambush on purpose, laughing behind your back the entire way. That's what's happening now. Those who believed the lies about you are crushed because they trusted voices in high places, and those voices turned out to be rotten. The betrayal cuts them deeper than the lie itself, because now they have to admit that their so-called leaders, mentors, or allies were nothing more than frauds. And here's the truth the universe is forcing them to face. Liars can build castles, but they build them out of sand. Eventually, the tide of truth sweeps in, and those castles collapse with no effort at all. That collapse is happening in real time. Fake leaders, manipulators, and deceivers who thought their positions would protect them are being stripped bare. Their words hold no weight anymore. Their reputations are sinking, their credibility evaporating. And the ones who followed them, who mocked you, who chose sides against you, they now carry the shame of admitting they aligned themselves with fools. Some of them ask themselves, how could I not see it? How could I be so gullible? And the answer is simple. The lie was easier to believe than the truth. That's always been the way of the world, chosen one. History shows us this over and over. Think of Galileo, silenced by authorities who swore the earth was the center of the universe. Think of whistleblowers mocked before their warnings came true. Power has always been a mask for manipulation, and people always find it easier to follow the loud voice in the room rather than the quiet truth standing alone. That's why they doubted you. That's why they mocked you. And now that the mask is ripped away, the shame weighs heavier than stone on their shoulders. But here's where the universe is poetic. The very same people who believed those lies about you must now face the reality that their judgment wasn't just off, it was a reflection of their own envy and fear. They wanted to believe bad about you because it made them feel better about themselves. They wanted to cling to the stories because truth about your power was too much for them to handle. But the truth doesn't vanish because you deny it. It lingers, waiting. And when it finally comes crashing in, it exposes both the liar and the gullible. That's why they're crushed, chosen one. They can't just blame the liar, they have to face themselves. And here's where your power shines brightest. You didn't need to fight back. You didn't need to defend yourself. The universe itself dismantled the lies, piece by piece, and now the proof stands tall in front of everyone. The more they try to deny it, the more foolish they look. The more they close their eyes, the harder they bump into the wall of truth. And every bruise they collect is just another reminder that they were wrong about you. So don't waste time wondering if they'll ever admit it. Some won't. Some would rather choke on pride than confess they were misled. But it doesn't matter. Their silence is its own confession. Their shame is its own punishment. And their disbelief is the chain that will keep them restless for the rest of their days. Chosen one, never forget this. They weren't just wrong about you, they were wrong to bet against the universe. And when you fight against the universe, you always lose. That's why their disbelief cuts so deep. They didn't just doubt you, they doubted the truth itself. Number 5. Your reputation restored, their power destroyed. Reputation is like glass. Once shattered, it never goes back the same. But chosen one, yours wasn't shattered, it was polished. That's the reality unfolding right now. They tried to smear your name, drag your character through the mud, and bury you under the weight of lies. They laughed as whispers spread, thinking your silence was weakness. They thought your calm was surrender. But the universe has a way of flipping the stage, and now the very silence they mocked has become the thunder that shakes their world. You see, Chosen One, when you kept your head up and didn't play their game, you unknowingly gave the universe time to work. While they were busy manufacturing lies, the truth was gathering strength like a storm. And when the storm finally broke, it didn't just wash the dirt off your name, it made their filth visible for all to see. Truth bites harder than a dog's teeth, and they are bleeding from the wounds of their own deceit. History proves this pattern. Look at Muhammad Ali, who was mocked, stripped of his titles, and smeared by the press when he refused to fight a war that wasn't his. People called him a coward. Yet years later, the truth stood tall. He was a man of principle, one of the greatest to ever live, and those who mocked him became nameless shadows. That's the exact energy moving through your life right now. They tried to make your name a joke, but now it's their legacy that crumbles into dust. And here's the part that crushes them the most. You didn't lift a finger to defend yourself. You didn't beg anyone to believe in you. You didn't argue or chase their approval. You simply stood, endured, and let time reveal what it always reveals, that the universe protects its own. That's why your reputation is not just restored, it's magnified. People look at you now with respect, even awe, because they saw the lies collapse and realized you were real all along. But for them, their power is evaporating. The manipulators who once held influence are being laughed at now. The ones who led the smear campaign have no credibility left. The same mouths that lied about you are now avoided, distrusted, and ridiculed. Their words hold no value because the universe made sure the truth exposed every crack in their armor. They thought destroying your name would make theirs stronger, but in reality, it was the rope they used to hang their own reputation. And Chosen One, here's a fact that seals it. Studies show that when false information is exposed, the backlash against the liar is often twice as strong as the damage done to the target. Why? Because people feel betrayed, and betrayal always cuts deeper than any rumor. That's why their world is falling apart right now. They didn't just lie about you, they lied to everyone else too. And the crowd they once controlled is now turning on them. So remember this truth: humiliation doesn't last forever, but restoration does. What you endured in silence is the very thing that gives your voice power now. When people speak your name, they don't think of the lies anymore. They think of resilience, strength, and the one who rose above every trap set against them. Meanwhile, when they speak of your enemies, it's with pity, scorn, or disgust. Their empire was made of smoke and mirrors, and now it's nothing but ash. Chosen One, stand tall. You are living proof that the universe never lets truth stay buried. Your reputation is the phoenix rising brighter than before, and theirs, nothing more than rubble in the dirt. Number 6. The begging for bonds to be strengthened. Apologies are easy when the truth exposes you, but Chosen One, don't forget they weren't sorry when the lie was working. That's the stage you're in now. The masks are off, the truth is out, and suddenly the same people who laughed at you, abandoned you, or turned cold when the rumors spread are knocking on your door. They want to return, to apologize, to fix things, but their desperation isn't love, it's survival. And survival always comes with an agenda. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen One. Imagine someone poisoning your drink, watching you writhe in pain, and then, when the antidote finally proves you never needed them, they come back holding a new cup, smiling, saying, trust me this time." That's exactly what's happening. They offer their apologies like medicine, but what they hand you is another poisoned cup, filled not with sincerity, but with the hope you'll forget their betrayal. Their timing says it all. When the lies benefited them, they had no problem standing against you. Now that the lies are ashes, they want to stand beside you again. And here's where the universe hands you the power. Their return isn't a blessing, it's proof of your worth. People don't beg for bonds they don't value. They see your light shining again, your reputation restored, your image untouchable. They want access to what they once mocked. They want a seat at the table they tried to flip over. But chosen one, you must remember, betrayal doesn't erase itself just because truth has surfaced. A snake can shed its skin, but it's still a snake. Some of you might ask, but what if they've changed? What if their apology is real? And the answer is this: change is proven by action, not words. The universe is showing you their pattern. The first chance they got, they turned against you. Do you really think they wouldn't do it again if it benefited them? Forgiveness doesn't mean access. You can release the weight of their betrayal without ever letting them near your energy again. That is true power. Look at history. How many great figures were rejected before being celebrated? Van Gogh died poor and alone, yet the same society that ignored him now worships his art, but he never got to see those same people return with apologies. That's the bitter reality. People often don't realize your value until it's too late. The difference with you, chosen one, is that you're alive to watch them beg. And their begging is proof they know they lost the best thing they ever had. So let them talk, let them cry, let them promise the world, but never forget, the cup they offer is laced with hypocrisy. Their apologies are not for you, they're for themselves, to ease the guilt of what they did. Stand firm. The universe is with you, and you don't need their validation to shine. Number 7. The collective's face of refusal. The most powerful word a chosen one can speak is a simple no. That's the blade cutting through the fog right now. After all the chaos, after all the lies, after all the betrayals, you now stand with a strength they never expected. You don't need them. And when they crawl back with offers, apologies, and empty promises, your refusal is the thunder that shakes their bones. They thought you would be desperate for their approval, hungry for their validation, ready to welcome them back just because they finally realized the truth. But chosen one, the tables have turned. You are the one who decides, and your decision is final. No, you picked your side. Stay there. Now imagine this. A ship sets sail, leaving the dock while you stand on the shore. They laugh at you, convinced the journey without you will bring them treasures. But storms hit, the ship breaks, and suddenly they come crawling back, begging for a place on the raft you built with your own 2 hands. And you, chosen one, simply look at them and say, "No, you had your chance. You laughed when I was on the shore, but now you can sink with the choice you made." That's the image that burns in their mind right now. And don't think this refusal doesn't haunt them. It does. In fact, rejection cuts them deeper than the truth ever could. Why? Because they never expected it. They thought the moment they admitted the lies were false, you would jump at the chance to reconnect. They thought you would be so grateful for the scraps of attention they offered that you would forget every insult, every whisper, every betrayal. But instead, you remind them of the one thing they can't stand. Their choice was permanent. They chose shadows over light, and now they can't crawl back into the sun. Some of you may wonder, but isn't it harsh to reject them now that they see the truth? The answer is simple. It's justice. When they rejected you, it wasn't just a decision, it was a declaration. They declared that lies were more comfortable than your truth. They declared that betrayal was easier than loyalty. They declared that your value was disposable, and when someone declares war on your soul, chosen one, they don't get to come back just because they lost the battle. That's not cruelty, that's accountability. Look at history. How many times did great figures face rejection before their brilliance was recognized? J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a phenomenon. Imagine those same publishers knocking on her door afterward, begging for a second chance. Do you think she needed them anymore? Of course not. Once you've been dismissed and disrespected, their offers become meaningless. That's exactly your position now. Their hands are empty, their voice is weak, and their requests nothing more than noise. Your no is more than rejection. It's a symbol. It shows that you no longer live in the shadows of their opinions. It shows that your light was never theirs to control. It shows that you are untouchable, chosen not just by destiny, but by resilience. And that's why it burns them so badly, because deep down they know the truth. They don't deserve your yes. Chosen one, hold your ground. The universe is proud of you for reclaiming your power with one word. They had their chance. They chose wrong. And now their punishment is to watch your light grow brighter while they remain stuck in the darkness they chose. Number 8. The harsh truth of permanent loss. When you stand with liars, you fall with liars. That is the harsh truth echoing in their lives right now, chosen one. There are some bridges that once burned can never be rebuilt. This is not about bitterness or holding grudges. It is about divine order, about the universe making sure that betrayal never gets rewarded with a second chance. The people who believed the lies about you, who mocked you, abandoned you, or even celebrated when they thought you were finished, must now face the permanent loss of you. They gambled against the truth, and they lost. And the universe does not deal in refunds. Imagine this for a moment. A gambler walks into a casino, bets his entire fortune on a bluff, and loses it all in seconds. He can cry, he can beg, he can slam his fists against the table, but the dealer doesn't hand his money back. That's the rule of the game. You play, you pay. And chosen one, that's exactly how it works with your energy, your trust, your presence. They placed their bet on lies, and the price they paid was losing you forever. This is what cuts them so deeply now. They thought time could heal the damage. They thought apologies would bridge the gap. They thought you'd be waiting with open arms once they realized their mistake. But they didn't realize that the bridge they torched was made of truth, loyalty, and trust. And once that burns, the ash cannot be rebuilt into wood again. That bridge is gone, and the loss is permanent. Some may ask, but chosen one, isn't forgiveness part of your journey? And the answer is yes, you can forgive. You can release the bitterness, you can drop the weight, you can wish them well from afar. But forgiveness is not the same as access. Forgiveness doesn't resurrect bridges. Forgiveness frees your spirit, but it does not restore their seat at your table. That's the difference. The universe wants you to keep moving forward, not circle back to those who already proved they can't be trusted. Look at history for proof. Think of Julius Caesar and Brutus. Once trust was broken with betrayal, there was no return. Think of great innovators like Thomas Edison, who cut off associates that tried to steal or discredit him. Those people never regained his trust, no matter what excuses they made. Why? Because once someone shows you that they are willing to bet against you, the universe marks them. They're no longer fit to walk beside you, and that's where the pain for them lies. It's not just that they lost you, it's that they know they can never get you back. Their forever is gone, sealed by their own actions. They chose to side with liars, manipulators, and gossipers. They decided lies were more convenient than standing with your truth. And so their punishment is permanent loss. That's why they replay it in their heads at night, haunted by what could have been, but unable to change what is. Chosen one, let this empower you. Their loss is your confirmation. The universe has removed them for good reason. If you ever wonder why the bridge burned so completely, remember this: it was for your protection. Because if they betrayed you once, they would betray you again. If they bet against you once, they would gamble your worth again. And the universe is too invested in your mission to let that cycle repeat. So stand firm in this truth. They had their chance, they failed the test, and the door has closed forever. That's not cruelty, that's justice. Their permanent loss is proof that your value is non-negotiable, and their fall is the price of standing with liars. Number 9. The accountability they can't escape. Accountability is the bill that always arrives, whether you're ready to pay it or not. That's what your enemies are facing right now, chosen one. For so long, they thought they could outrun the truth. They thought their lies, their smear campaigns, their whispers in the dark would go unanswered. But the universe is a perfect accountant. It doesn't forget, it doesn't overlook. And now the debt has come due, and every single one of them must pay. Some of them are lashing out because that's what cowards do when the walls close in. They use anger as a shield, shouting louder, trying to drown out the sound of their own guilt. They throw tantrums with words, sometimes even violence, hoping that if they create enough chaos, people will forget the real issue. They lied, they betrayed, they mocked. But anger is a mask, and masks always slip. The more they fight against the truth, the more obvious their guilt becomes. The harder they try to silence your light, the more their own darkness gets exposed. Others, however, sit in shame, and this shame cuts them even deeper, because now they admit, at least to themselves, that they were blind. They see how willingly they let lies cloud their judgment. They see how quick they were to laugh at you, how eager they were to believe the worst instead of the best. And the shame doesn't let them rest. It creeps in at night, whispers in their ears, and reminds them of the moment they chose shadows over light. They can't escape it. Even if they don't say it out loud, their silence is full of regret. And here's the power in this moment. Accountability doesn't just punish, it reveals. The universe uses accountability as a mirror, forcing people to confront the person they truly are. For your enemies, that reflection is unbearable. They see jealousy, they see cowardice, they see weakness, and no matter how they try to cover it, the truth won't let them look away. That's why some lash out, some hide, some break down. Because accountability doesn't care about excuses, it only cares about justice. Think of it like gravity. You can jump, you can fight it, you can even pretend it doesn't exist, but eventually gravity pulls you down. That's what accountability is doing right now. It's pulling them down to the ground they thought they could rise above by stepping on you. And the harder they fall, the more the universe highlights your rise. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. You don't need revenge. You don't need to argue. You don't need to prove a thing. The universe has already set the stage where their accountability is public, undeniable, and permanent. They can't escape it, no matter which mask they wear or which excuse they invent. Their punishment isn't just being wrong, it's being forced to live with the fact that everyone sees they were wrong about you. Number 10. The cup they offer, the bat they carry. The hand that offers you a cup while hiding a bat behind its back is never a hand to trust. That's exactly what you're dealing with now, chosen one. Some approach you with soft words, dripping in false humility, pretending to be sorry. Others come in swinging, full of aggression, desperate to intimidate or scare you back into silence. But whether they come smiling or snarling, it doesn't matter. Their cup is poisoned, their bat is empty noise, and none of it touches you anymore, because the power has shifted. You are the one holding all the cards now. Think of this like a stage play. On one side, you have actors desperately trying to play roles they think will win them back into your presence. One actor wears the mask of forgiveness, offering apologies they never mean, hoping you'll forget the venom they once spit. Another wears the mask of power, swinging threats and insults like a bat, hoping to scare you into submission. But the spotlight isn't on them anymore, it's on you. And under that spotlight, their masks look cheap, their performances pathetic. They don't realize it yet, but you've already outgrown the entire show. Here's the truth. People reveal themselves when truth is exposed. The ones offering false apologies aren't doing it because they love you. They're doing it because they love access to your light. And the ones bringing aggression aren't strong. They're desperate because their old tricks don't work anymore. Either way, both groups are powerless. And the reason is simple. You don't need them. You never did. The universe already gave you everything you need to rise without them. And let's be clear, chosen one, power isn't in loud threats or fake kindness. Power is in silence. Power is in boundaries. Power is in knowing that the cup they offer is irrelevant and the bat they carry is useless because you've already won. Their tools are nothing but echoes of the old game they thought they were playing. But you're not on that field anymore. You've moved into a space where their apologies and aggression can't touch you. So whether they come with sweet words or sharp blows, remember this: both paths end the same way, with them exposed, empty and powerless. You don't need their apologies and you don't fear their threats. The universe has made sure the scales have tipped and all the power rests in your hands now. Number 11. The choices before you now. Every offer isn't an opportunity. Some are traps wrapped in shiny paper. That's the reality you stand in now, chosen one. The lies have fallen, your reputation has been restored, and suddenly doors are opening everywhere. People want to work with you, stand beside you, even love you. But here's the twist. The same world that mocked you yesterday will try to embrace you today. And that's why discernment becomes your sharpest weapon. Not all glitter is gold. Some of it is just dust polished to look bright in the light. Now imagine this for a moment. A miner digging through stone finds a rock that sparkles. At first glance, it looks like gold. But once tested, it turns out to be nothing more than fool's gold, worthless to the core. That's exactly what's happening with some of the offers being placed in front of you now. They sparkle with opportunity, they shimmer with promises of love or partnership, but when you look closer, it's hollow. These are the same types of people who would have thrown you under the bus yesterday. Why? Because their loyalty isn't to truth, it's to convenience. The universe has sharpened your eyes through pain, chosen one. You know now that true value isn't found in appearances, in promises, or in words. True value reveals itself in consistency, integrity, and action. And because you endured betrayal, mockery, and abandonment, you now carry something rare, discernment that can see through masks. That's why not everyone will be allowed near you anymore. Your energy is too precious to be squandered on those who haven't earned it. And some of you may wonder, but doesn't this mean I'll miss out on opportunities? Absolutely not. What it means is that the wrong opportunities will no longer trick you. The wrong people will no longer have access to you. And that's a gift. The universe is aligning the right collaborations, the right love, the right partnerships, those who match your frequency, not just your image. Those who carry truth in their spirit, not lies in their pockets. That's why discernment is your weapon. It's not about being closed off. It's about protecting the treasure that is you. So as the offers come in, as hands stretch toward you, remember this: you don't need every hand extended to you. You need the ones that are real, steady, and aligned with your purpose. Everyone else, let them sparkle from afar. Their shine is meaningless because your light is the only glow that matters. Number 12. The full picture. They can't deny. The truth doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door down and leaves no room for excuses. That's where you are now, chosen one. The lies that once circled your name like vultures have finally collapsed under their own weight. The rumors, the whispers, the accusations. They are corpses now, lifeless and powerless. And what stands in their place is undeniable evidence. The full picture is here, and it cannot be painted over, no matter how hard your enemies try. They can close their eyes, but closing your eyes doesn't stop the sunrise. Now imagine a courtroom where every piece of false testimony has been stacked against you. For a while, it looks like the jury is convinced. Heads nod, whispers spread, and your silence is mistaken for weakness. But then, that one piece of undeniable evidence is brought forward. A single truth that demolishes every false word that came before it. Suddenly, the crowd shifts. Those who once smirked in satisfaction now avoid eye contact. That is your life right now. The evidence has been laid, the masks ripped off, and the illusions shattered. The joke is no longer on you, it's on them. The universe has always had your back, but it waited for this moment, for the tables to turn so dramatically that no one could spin the narrative anymore. Even the boldest liars are shrinking into the shadows, realizing that their stories don't hold up under the light of truth. And the beauty of it is this: you didn't have to scream, you didn't have to beg, you didn't have to force anyone to believe you. You simply kept walking, kept surviving, and now the truth itself roars louder than any defense you could have made. Some people will still pretend not to see it. They will cover their eyes, cling to denial, and walk headfirst into walls rather than admit they were wrong about you. But even in their stubborn blindness, they cannot erase the evidence. Everyone else can see it. And deep down, even they know the truth they're running from. That's why the weight of guilt and embarrassment presses so heavy on them now. They're trapped, not you. They're stuck in the prison of their own lies, while you stand free, restored, and stronger than ever. The tables have turned forever, chosen one. This is not a temporary win. This is the permanent restoration of your name, your dignity, your power. You are bold now, tenacious, unstoppable. What once crushed you has now become your crown. What once mocked you has now become your proof. And as you stand tall in this moment, remember, the universe didn't just vindicate you, it elevated you. This is your era, and nothing, no lie, no smear, no enemy can ever take this victory away. And so, chosen one, we've reached the end of this revelation. The lies have collapsed, the truth has stood tall, and you remain the one who could not be broken. Their shame is heavy, but your victory is undeniable. This is your moment to walk forward with strength, clarity, and unstoppable courage. And thank you, chosen one. Don't forget to return this energy by pressing like, subscribing, and dropping 77 in the comments to seal this message. Share it with others so the light spreads wider, because you are part of a force reshaping the world.